So it's 2024 and you're curious about Kings of War. Well, my name's Kyle and I'm here to guide you on all the information you need to get started with what's arguably the best rank and flank fantasy game on the market. There's so much to cover, so we'll break this down into a series of videos that highlight different aspects of the game. And first up, a little history on how we got to the current state of Kings of War in 2024. Kings of War started back in 2010 by Mantic Games with a rule set that was developed by Alessio Cavatore. Having worked on Warhammer Fantasy Battles, 40k, Bolt Action, and Lord of the Rings, Alessio was given the freedom to develop a game that he always wanted to design for rank and flank without a preset system in place. And this resulted in a really elegant and simplified game that focuses on movement-based strategy and brilliantly combines damage and morale into one stat. At the time, Kings of War was up against an elephant in the room with Warhammer Fantasy, and it wasn't until 2015 when Games Workshop switched from Fantasy to Age of Sigmar that gamers really started to notice the alternatives out there. In the eyes of players, Kings of War represented an excellent proxy to the armies they had in Warhammer Fantasy, and the game system appealed to that classic rank and flank enough to get them to check it out. Top this off with Mantic publishing a supplement book called Uncharted Empires that immediately provided full army rules for many of the factions that weren't previously in the game. And this was a welcome love letter to players who in some cases had been waiting years for updated rules on their army. Once players got stuck in, they realized that it wasn't just a replacement, but a fundamentally better game experience. It was fast, intuitive, balanced, and massively fun. This led to the highly competitive tournament scene from Warhammer Fantasy to adopt Kings of War as their system of choice. In the US in particular, the US Masters switched over and adopted Kings of War, and many of the players began converting their armies over for play. This launched a competitive scene that really went worldwide and saw the game grow on a level that they had not seen in the prior 5 years. Major scenes started to develop in the UK, US, and Australia, and players realized that every faction was viable for play and how you piloted your individual units and list was the most important factor in being successful. Events started to pop up and the community really began to develop. The Kings of War community is a monumental piece of the puzzle, and you can say that about a lot of games, but this is one where the player base genuinely matters and influences everything about the game. Mantic as a company knows the players are the heart and soul of the game. Kings of War is balanced and updated regularly by a group of community volunteers who are experts and ensure the game remains something for the players. The company actively seeks feedback on models, armies, rules, and every fathomable facet of the experience that you can imagine. Employees engage on social media, play the games themselves, and have a true personal investment in seeing it be the best it can possibly be. Players have been invited to write official lore or even immortalized with magical artifacts that were named after them. Mantic has even flown tournament winners across the world to take on the best players in other countries. There's a strong relationship between players and company that drives home that you're actively a part of something when you play this game. In 2019, 3rd edition dropped, and throughout its lifecycle was refined into a single core rulebook, the Red Rulebook, that consolidated all prior updates into one place. Kings of War operates on a yearly refresh, usually in the later part of the year with the Clash of Kings supplement. In it, all the factions are updated simultaneously, and usually some new concepts are introduced. This keeps the power creep to a minimum and allows the rules to stay fresh over time. And while it might seem like there's a 4th edition right around the corner, we're still likely well over a year out from seeing that happen. Right now, you can pick up the Kings of War rulebook or download the rules for free on manticgames.com. This and the Clash of Kings 2024 supplement get you completely up to date with the game. Mantic also developed a companion web app that you can download straight to your phone from their website that allows you to browse rules, build army lists, find or post events, locate clubs, and see the latest news all in one place. You can interact with the community best on Facebook with the Kings of War Fanatics group or any of the individual army fan groups. There's a Kings of War forum and Discord channel as well with links in the description. Popular podcasts are Countercharge and Direct Misfire, with each of them having their own communities that are thriving and doing great. I highly encourage you to check out these resources and see if the game is for you. The hardest step to take is often stepping away from what's familiar to see what else could be out there that's worth it for you. The tens of thousands of players that have discovered Kings of War will swear it's the best game and best community that they've ever been a part of, so there's got to be some truth to that. If you do check it out, I can promise you'll see the potential and how much enjoyment and sense of belonging come with diving into this game. Good luck, and please check out Kings of War.